Hello everyone. Today I am going to discuss about the structure of neuron. As you already know that the nervous system is mainly composed of two types of cells. One is glial cells and second one is the nerve cells or neurons. So there are two groups of cells which form the nervous system. So the main cell of this nervous system is known as neuron or nerve cells. As we already know that our brain has billions of nerve cells and trillions of junctions. They are connected to each other through a tiny gap, and these nerve cells continuously and simultaneously communicate to each other, or they receive and transmit the signals at the same time. So today let's have a look about the nerve cell. So as you can easily see that nerve cell is having three parts. It is mainly composed of three parts. First one is cell body, which is the main part. Cell body has a prominent nucleus. It is just like the other cell. It has a prominent nucleus and it has some projections from the cell membrane, and these projections are known as the dendrites. Dendrites because they give the appearance just like a tree, and dendron, that means a tree. So these branch like system or branch like projections are called as the dendrites. Here you can see one long extended part. This long extended part, this is the single extended portion. This portion is known as axon, right? This portion is known as axon. Now this axon is terminated into the knob-like structures, and these knob-like structures are called as axon terminals or synaptic knobs. So this is the structure of neuron. Now here you can observe in axon. Axon is myelinated with a membrane, or this is covered by a membrane, and here there are some gap present on the axon which is not covered by this membrane or which is not myelinated. This gap or this part which is not covered by the myelin, this is known as the node of Ranvier, right? And these myelin sheaths, as I had already discussed in the previous lecture, that the Schwann cells or oligodendrocyte cells are the cells which are responsible to form or to produce the myelin around the axon. So those oligodendrocytes, if they are present in the central nervous system, and if they are present in the Schwann cells, they are called as the Schwann cells. So they form or they produce the myelin around the axons, and this myelin actually facilitates the impulse to travel faster. So now let's discuss how these neurons work. Each neuron receives each neuron receives signal from the adjoining neuron. So there are suppose let's say there are several neurons all around a single neuron. So each neuron receives the signal from the adjoining neuron. It receives the signal with the help of dendrites. Dendrites have some receptors, and these receptors are as specific as enzymes are specific in their lock and key mechanism. So these dendrites receive the signals in the form of neurotransmitter chemicals, and when these signals or when these neurotransmitter chemicals, these travel all along the dendrites and they reach to the cell body. Now this part is known as the axon hillock, where cell body and axon meets together. This part is known as the axon hillock. So all the chemicals or all the impulses or all the stimulus come and they collect in the cell body. Now what is the work of the neuron? They, you all know that they generate the electrical impulses, they transmit the they transmit the signal, or they conduct the electrical impulses. This is the main function of any neuron. So when all these electrical impulses are collected here, so these this axon hillock has the property or it has to decide whether these signals will be transmitted through the axon or not. Okay, if these stimulus or if these signals have that much of strength that they can be propagated through the axon terminal, then only it could be transmitted. Otherwise, it would not be transmitted anymore. So, how does it work? Now let's understand. If suppose there is one another neuron ahead of this, and there is the next neuron here. So if this is releasing the chemicals, each neuron is capable to produce the chemicals in the form of neurotransmitters. It is able to produce the neurotransmitter chemicals such as acetylcholine. It is produced here, and these chemicals are stored here in the form of vesicles. So chemicals are produced here, then they travel all across the axon, and then they reach to the axon terminals, and here they are stored in the vesicles. Okay. Small vesicles are present which actually contain the neurotransmitter chemical. So the neurotransmitter chemical which was produced here, and it is stored here. So what happens when any signal travels through the neuron, then what happens, it stimulates the neuron to release the neurotransmitter chemicals into the synaptic cleft. Now what is synapse? So see, if suppose there is another neuron, okay, and here are the dendrites of this neuron. Impulses travel only in single direction, right? Dendrites only receive the impulses. So suppose this is the next neuron. So this the gap between the dendrite, this is the dendrite of the next neuron, and this is the axon terminal or synaptic nerve of the previous neuron. So the gap between these two, the axon terminal and the dendrite, this tiny gap is known as the synapse, or this is called as the synaptic cleft. Okay. So what happens when the when it gets excited, this neuron gets excited, stimulus the stimulus, when it comes here, and it the vesicles releases the neurotransmitter chemicals. So these neurotransmitter chemicals are released in these synaptic cleft. Okay. These are not in direct contact with the next dendrite. There is always a tiny gap of 10 to 20 nanometer. So there is a gap between the two neurons, a very tiny gap which is of 10 to 20 nanometer, and this gap is known as the synaptic cleft or synapse. And the neuron which is in the excited state, that means that it is releasing the stimulus, or it is in the excited state, it is carrying the stimulus. So this is the and it is going to release that stimulus, or it is going to release the neurotransmitter in the synapse. So before this synapse, this neuron is known as presynaptic neuron, while the neuron which is going to receive this chemical, which is now in the resting stage, and it will be receiving the neurotransmitter chemical. So this neuron will be known as the postsynaptic neuron. So this is the presynaptic because it is just before the synapse. So it is presynaptic neuron, while it is just after the synapse. This is the synapse. So it is just after the synapse, and it is going to receive the chemical. It is now in the resting stage, and it is going to receive the chemical through the synapse. So it is known as the postsynaptic neuron. So this is all about the structure of neuron and synapse. Thank you.